Welcome to GoVMlab, India's first job-ready VMware learning platform where professionals meet experts to revolutionize their VMware careers.
Welcome everyone to our Virtual Cloud Network Technical Skills VCT&V certification program. Thank you for joining this program. Here is a quick objective of our program. So I'll just walk you through that what all the topics we actually gonna go and cover in this particular program, right? So as when we progress with this program, we'll be keep referring to this program objective to make sure that how are we covering every topic, what we have committed in this program, right? So we will be starting with vSphere and SDDC because it is very important for to understand some of this terminology. What is vSphere? What is SDDC? And what are the different SDDC solutions VMware is having it actually? What are the different solutions VMware is having it, which actually come together and provide us something called software-defined data center? Then I think we'll try to cover up something, we'll try to talk about vSphere versus VCF versus cloud offering, right? Because I do see a lot of confusion folks are having that they always try to compare vSphere and VCF as a similar terms, right? So we'll try to understand that. We'll try to demystify what is exactly the vSphere product positioning, what is VCF product positioning, and what are the different this cloud offerings we have it, right? So we'll go and talk about that. And once we cover these basic stuff, then we actually gonna go and talk about what is network virtualization. What is this NSX buzz is all about it, right? We'll go and talk about that. And then before we go and talk about NSX switching, we'll have a quick overview of VMware virtual switches, right? So we'll go and talk about standard switches, a quick overview of standard switches, a quick brush up for all of you. And then we'll go and talk about distributed switches as well. And then we actually go and talk about what are these different control planes we have it, right? Any product line you take it, they always have a different control plane, management plane, control plane, and data plane. So we'll actually go and talk about that. What is the key responsibilities of every plane in the packet forwarding? Then we'll talk about what is this software-defined networking. Software-defined networking is a generic term, right? NSX is the SDN solution, but then we'll go and try to understand some of the basic definitions. What exactly meaning by software-defined networking? And then we'll start with our NSXT data center. So we'll go and talk about what is this NSXT data center product is all about it. We'll understand what is this NSXT data center architecture and what are the key component of this architecture which come together and help us to deliver a software-defined networking solutions in our virtual environment. Then we'll go and talk about logical switching. So we'll go and talk about what is this logical switching, why logical switching, what are the key component of this NSX logical switching, and then we'll actually go and perform some labs on helping you guys to understand that how do you go and create a logical L2 networking in your NSX world, right? Then we'll talk about logical routing because this is what NSX is all about it, right? So we'll talk about what is this logical routing, what are the key component of the logical routing, what are the kind of topology we have it, like one tier routing, two tier routing. We'll go and talk about a routing topology. We'll go and configure east-west routing. We'll go and configure north-south routing, and we'll just see that how your virtual machine, which is part of NSX data center, how it's communicate to the peer machine on the within data center boundaries, and how it communicates to the VM which are outside of your NSX data center boundary, right? And that is where we have a notion of east-west traffic and north-south traffic. So we'll go and demonstrate you routing configuration, like how do you go and configure routing stuff in your NSX UI. And then one of the key component why NSX is so popular is microsegmentation, right? And that is where we'll go and talk about NSX firewall, right? NSX have a different kind of firewall. One of the very key construct of NSX is microsegmentation. And that is what is your gateway firewall and distributed firewall. In fact, distributed firewall is one of the key reason why NSX is so popular in the industry today, right? So we'll go and talk about what is this gateway firewall, what is this distributed firewall, how do I configure gateway firewall, how do I configure distributed firewall, right? And where are they positioned in my NSX data center architecture? We'll also see that how do I go and develop zero trust security model, right? In the machines which are already on a layer 2 network, right? So how do you go and create a zero trust security model in your layer 2 networking, right? We'll go and understand and try to implement zero trust security model in the NSX. And then we'll go and talk about some of the very basic services, what I think every networking solutions will be having it. So we'll go and explore NSX to configure DHCP services. We'll go and explore NSX to configure DNS services. We'll configure NSX load balancer services, right? It's not your AVI load balancer. This is your NSX integrated load balancer, what NSX inbuilt provides you, right? So we'll go and talk about load balancer services and how do you go and configure load balancer. And then we'll talk about NSX VPN services, right? What is L2 VPN? What is L3 VPN? And how do you go and configure VPN stuff in the NSX networking, right? So we'll actually go and try to cover some of the, these are some of the very major key components, key services of the NSX. And with this is what we really want to go and spend time with all of you guys in this particular program. And the last, we'll be talking about this something called virtual cloud network, right? Because virtual cloud network is actually a bigger vision, what VMware is having it. NSX is just a one piece of the puzzle, right? So NSX is just a one piece of the puzzle, right? But when you really go and look at the VMware vision of virtual cloud network, that is where you will see that there are many other products of VMware which actually come together and help us to build a next generation of virtual cloud network solutions. So I'll try to help you to understand what is this virtual cloud network vision and what VMware is doing it into that particular space, right? So that's a quick agenda of our VCTA NV program. And that is what we're going to go and spend time with each of this topic, what we have discussed in this particular program with a lot of hands-on learning, right? So with that, let's get started. So that's a very first topic. What we're going to talk about it is why do we need software-defined data center, right? So we actually talked about this term very frequently called SDDC, software-defined data center. So what is software-defined data center? Let's keep this question aside and let's first try to understand that why do I need software-defined data center, right? So this is what we're going to talk about in this particular module. Why do we need software-defined data center? And these are the learning objective where we're going to quickly walk you through with all of this key terminology of software-defined data center. So if you really see that, what is this slide? This slide says that 95% of global data centers will be software-defined by 2025, right? In fact, it could be 99% also, but just on the optimistic side, we said that, okay, 95% global data centers, if you really see that, everything is to be software defined, right? Why? So let's try to understand that. See, the reason why we are saying that everything is going to be software defined because technology is transforming every industry. And I think we, all of us are witnessing those changes, what we are seeing in the industry, right? We talk about the farming. The farming has become analytics driven now, right? The farmers have access to the technology where they can figure it out that on this particular soil, what would be the right thing to be, grow, right? What is the time? What is the temperature? I need to control it, right? How do I go and produce best quality of products or plants, basically, or the whatever we have it, right? We talk about healthcare. The healthcare has become a technology driven now. Today, we really want to go and order medicine, right? We really want to go and have a doctor in place, right? We don't need to go to visit the hospital, right? We can have a video call itself, right? We can, in fact, the technology, what do we see that, right? Today, the machines, what you see for the health checkup, right? They become so intelligent that with the AI integration, we all are witnessing that we don't need to have a first line screening from the doctor itself. The AI implementation will go and do the screening for us, and he will tell us that based on the symptoms. This is what we are suspecting, right? That is what the innovation, what we are seeing in every single industry, right? Mobile and secure financial services. Financial services, we all have been witnessing the benefit of UPI, the benefit of internet banking, right? That how withdrawing the money or depositing the money or how transferring the money has become so much simplified today because of the technology, right? I don't even remember when last time when I had withdrawn the cash in the last 5-8 years, actually. That is the power of technology, right? And we all are reaping the benefits that today, if I want to transfer the amount, I can just log into the bank website and I can transfer the amount. I don't need to go to the bank and visit and get into the queue and do all these things, right? So we are already seeing that technology has transformed every single industry, and it just a start, right? Look at the business model in the last few years. What we have witnessed that the business model itself have changed. If you go back to the early 2000, right, 2010 or 2007 time frame, I don't think there was an era of e-commerce, right? That time, if something we really wanted to purchase, we have to go to the shop and we really need to get into this old model of shopping, right? But today, if you really see that in the last few years, what has happened? All these companies have changed the way we used to do the shopping, the way we used to buy or sell the products, right? Amazon, if you really see that, it is the most valuable retailer. It is one of the most valuable, the biggest, largest e-commerce company, but does not have its own inventory. It's just a platform. It's giving the platform where vendor you come, you put your products and will help you to sell it out. The business model has changed. It's one of the biggest, largest e-commerce platform, does not have its own inventory. Look at the Airbnb. Airbnb is world's largest accommodation provider, but it does not own its own real estate. It's again a platform, technological driven platform. You as a property owner facing a challenges in renting out your hotels or your villas or whatever you have it, right? You put your you list out your properties here and this platform will help you to get the customers. That is the change what we have seen in the last couple of years, right? YouTube, the world most popular video platform, right? We always give credit to YouTube because GoVMlab, the way we see the lot of appreciation from the learners. YouTube has given us a platform to reach out to the learners who are really want to learn the technology, right? And they are, I mean, you can see that if there is no YouTube, then how we would have connected with each other. It was very much limited to a logical space or the physical space wherever you are located. But today we don't have those boundaries. Anyone from any part of the country or any part of the globe, they can actually go and learn it. So there is no boundaries at all. That is the change we have seen in the industry in the last couple of years, right? We talk about the Uber, the largest taxi company, but does not own its own vehicle. It's again a platform, right? We talk about Zomato. It's again a food delivery restaurant, right? It does not have its own restaurant chain, but still it's become one of the largest food delivery company. It's known as a food delivery company, right? That is what the change we are seeing it in the last couple of years in the business model. Udemy, it's the world's largest educational platform, does not have its own courses, right? So what we are trying to give a message here, or what this slide is giving you the message that the businesses have changed, the businesses model has changed. 20 years back, 15 years back, the way we used to consume the services, it's no more valid in today's time because the technology has evolved, the world has evolved, and every single day, what is happening? Simplification is happening. If tomorrow I really wanted to order a food or I really wanted to book a cab, I need to reach out to the cab driver. I need to negotiate with them. I need to put my lot of energy, lot of time into this arguments, right? And then it used to be a lot of pain to just to get in from the source A to source B. Today, what has happened? Still the same cab owner is there. But then because of this technology, it got simplified for us as a consumer. We are not getting into the involvement that okay, I'll actually give a call, he will come, then negotiate, bargain, all those things. Eliminated, right? So earlier it used to take 10 minutes for me to book a cab. Today it's take a 1 minute for me to book a cab. Cab, same cab driver. But what this business model has done it, they simplify our life as a consumer, right? They optimize our experience in terms of ordering food, in terms of shopping, in terms of accommodation, in terms of taxi, in terms of learning, right? That is what has changed in the last couple of years, right? So the point what we are trying to say it here is that digital businesses are reshaping the industries, right? Your healthcare has become a mobile health. Your education has become a massive open online courses, MOOC, right? Your power utilities has become a smart grids now. Your manufacturing has become a custom manufacturing, a real-time automation. What do we see in the manufacturing industry? Your physical banking has become a mobile banking. And then your devices, what we used to have it, now we have a IoT in place. And in fact, with this AI ML, what we are seeing that, right? It's going at the next level, right? So the point, what we are trying to make, what we are trying to discuss it here is that we need to have that mindset that things have changed a lot in the last 15 years. The business model have changed. People who have not improvise and evolve themselves, like Nokia, right? We all know the very good example of Nokia, right? In early those days, 2000 time frame, Nokia was one of the one where every single person will have a Nokia phone in their hand. Mobile means Nokia, but today do we really see that Nokia in our hand? No, because if someone who is not evolving over the period of time, they'll be out of the market, and that is where it will create a space for new innovators, new startups, right? And that is where industry always say that keep evolving. As an enterprise owner, you have to evolve your organization, your product line. As a professional, we have to evolve, right? Because someone who is not evolving with the time, we don't know, very soon things will be out of the way. And we have seen those examples, right? So that is what this slide says that. So in short, what is happening here? is software is eating the world. So the one of the question we should be asking ourselves that how is that happening that earlier when I'm booking a cab, it's taking a 10 minutes for me. Now if I book a cab, the 10 minutes time have got reduced to 1 minute. How is that possible? How this Uber app is running on the platform? What is that underlying platform? What is that underlying technology which is really optimize a consumer experience and the time from 10 minutes to 1 minute? If we really go and deep dive, try to understand, not as a consumer of the Uber, but as an enterprise owner of such kind of companies, and then we actually go and try to talk about it that where these apps are running. These apps are running on some IT platform, right? Because these apps, what we are seeing that it's just a content, it's interface, what we have it. But this interface, this solution has to run somewhere. It requires CPU, it requires memory, it requires network, everything it's required, which means it requires data center. But the question here is that are they still running on those decade-old data center or something has got evolved in the underlying industry because of which your time has reduced from 10 minutes to 1 minute? This is what it's all about it. And it has been possible because of software-driven industry. Because we have a major shift in the last 15 years where industry started shifting towards from hardware-based solutions to the software-based solutions. And I think because you are here to learn NSX, you know that vSphere benefits, all of we have got the benefit of vSphere, right? We have witnessed the benefit of virtual machine. In 2000, when VMware introduced the concept of virtual machine, nobody has believed into it. Nobody ever believed that how could you go and how could you go and run multiple operating system on a single hardware? How is that even possible? And nobody could ever thought of it that when you're upgrading your underlying hardware, it does not require any downtime for your applications because you can actually migrate your workloads or virtual machines who is running your applications. Nobody has ever thought of it. But then VMware become that breakthrough, right? VMware actually find out a way that why we need to have a dependency on the hardware. Why don't we go and virtualize this hardware and put all the intelligence in the software itself? Because software, one of the very good thing of the software is software can be programmed. Hardware is about chips, and chips cannot be redesigned. Chip cannot be relaunch every now and then. We do see the updates are coming for all of those applications within every week. Within 2 weeks, new updates are coming with the new features. Do you really think if we would have been hardware-based industry now also, we could have any chips? Every chips is coming within every 2 weeks. Not possible because hardware require a lot of a process to go through it, and that was a bottleneck in early 2000. But because of this virtualization, because of this software-driven approach, the things have got simplified, and that is what this slide says that. In short, software is eating the world, and we all are witnessing that. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to continue watch this lecture, then join our exclusive YouTube membership program only at the price of 299 rupees INR per month and unlock your VMware potential with GoVMlab. With this membership program, you can unlock all of our members only content published on our YouTube channel. You can watch out the videos presented on your screen to know the benefits of GoVMlab subscription as well as the membership program. Thank you.